What's up, everybody? It's draft time once again. Going to get into some underdog best ball action before we start and get into most likely another best ball mania and draft another team that's sure to advance and compete for the tournament, the entire thing. I want to point a couple things out. Now, actually, what I really wanted to do today is one of these satellites, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about today. Just so happens to kick off the slow draft portion of one of my favorite leagues every year. It's the Fishbowl. If you've never heard of it, just check it out. I'll explain a little bit of what it's like. It's the Scott Fishbowl 15, SFB 15. You might see it if you're on social media. You follow any fantasy football analysts. A lot of them are in it. The big names are all in it. I'm kind of lucky, I guess. I found out what it was a few years ago when I first got into doing this, and so it's been 8, 9 years. I don't really remember. But I've been lucky to be in it for every year since then and doing it again. So our slow drafts kicked off today. So it's Fishbowl day. So pretty happy. It's early. I know, I get it, but these are big. It's a massive, massive tournament. And there's a lot of people involved. And, this also kind of, it's a test of your skills to see if you can draft a winning team this early, right? With all the hype and the noise coming through a training camp. So anyways, what I really wanted to do is to get into on Underdog, you see here, because they have a lot of options, as you know. And right here, they just opened up SFB Satellite. It's the satellite for charity. And so that's really why this tournament exists. It's for Fantasy Cares. And I really would encourage you, even if you're not going to do it right now, to at some point just throw your $10 in there, because 100,000 of the entry fees towards this satellite tournament goes straight to charity, Fantasy Cares. So right there is a good reason to do it. And also, if you're interested in joining this massive tournament filled with analysts, experts, and fans from all around the world now, not just the country, the top, it says 510 win entry to next year's Fishbowl. And it's not easy to get in, trust me. So anyways, check it out. I really wanted to do one, but these aren't filling up as fast, unfortunately. So let's see if you go 30 seconds per pick, unless you guys are going to fill up right now, right here. So we got 9 spots open. If we can get 9 of you to jump in here and you want to do it together, let's do it. I would love to do that. If not, I'm going to jump out of here and we'll just do a BBM. So anyways, you want to learn more about it. It's really it's fascinating to follow along. The rules are totally different every year. I don't just mean different from this and different from your typical fantasy league. Every year they change something with the scoring, and it's a very unique tournament. I don't have time to get into all the details, but anyways, we'll see if this one fills up. I'll give it a couple minutes, and I'll just I'll actually tell you in the comments if you want to donate. I put it in the description. Not everybody reads that, but just check it out at some point if you can. Go to fantasycares.org right there, donate button. Donate whatever you want. If you want merch, get merch. I've been getting myself Fishbowl t-shirt almost every year. I think I've got officially way too many sports t-shirts in my collection. The drawers are overflowing. So this year I just went for just straight donation. I didn't get a shirt. I'll just have to wear one of the old ones in honor today of the Fishbowl, which, by the way, it pains me. It's a super flex league, but it has tight end premium. It has running back. I don't know what you call it, premium. You get a half point per rush attempt. Oh, but also it's 2.5 points per reception. Yeah, 2.5 PPR. So it really boosts everyone's scoring. Everyone. It's very unique, as I said. It's fun too, but you get to compete against guys that you might only follow on social media or see on TV, and that's pretty cool too. All right, so I'll see if this fills. I'm gonna leave my entry there just so it keeps my $10. All right, but let's go. Let's see what we can do here. Let's try another BBM 6. And if y'all are down, you can jump in here with me. 20 seconds per pick. Go ahead and enter if you want to compete here. Wow. Okay. First one. We just missed entering on this one. Well, there's definitely room for you guys to get in here with me. And let's switch this around. There we go. Um, Jordan, you can start. You can start right now. You want to start the Chase Brown questions? Go for it. We had a little talk yesterday about the Taj Brooks, the supposed handcuff to Chase Brown, assuming Zach Moss is dust, which it sure seems like he is. So yeah, let's get it going. We got time here. Go for it. Also, a reminder, I'm doing this. The satellite I'm talking about all of these drafts that we're doing here. It's on Underdog. For some reason, if you don't have an Underdog account, I highly recommend it because as you see, you have so many options here. You want to do the big major tournament. We're about to do another BBM. $25 for a chance to win millions. Or you can do, they've got all sorts of new ones, smaller ones. You got the Corgi, that's a single entry. You got the Greyhound, you've got the Dachshund, all sorts of things. I'm thinking they're going to bring another Superflex one. The Puppy Superflex already closed because it filled. I'm sure they're going to do a part 2 because they always do. So I don't know if we've streamed a Superflex yet. I don't know. Chris isn't a huge fan of the Superflex drafts in general for best ball. I think he likes it for Dynasty, but for best ball, it's weird. I'll tell you this too. It's aggravating because people are going to go QB heavy, but they just go like some people just get just unreasonable. It's ridiculous. I didn't mind that I'm doing it's a slow draft. Yeah, I got my 2 quarterbacks, good quarterbacks. I got Josh Allen, then a couple rounds later, got Brock Purdy, and every 3rd and 4th QB was already taken after like round 6. So I'm like, I don't even going to bother taking a 3rd quarterback because I'm picking between like Dylan Gabriel and Kenny Pickett and, whatever. So anyways, that's besides the point. All right. This has filled up nice and quick. So let's show you the board here. You guys who've been on here consistently, you already know the deal. This is half PPR. As always, this is going to be an 18-rounder. We're going to fill up. Oh, I got the 6th spot. Let's see. Who's in here? Who's in here? Talk to me if you're in here. I don't see anybody from yesterday. That's okay. All right, so this is going to be your traditional. It's a half PPR draft. We're going to have a quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 receiver, tight end, flexes, bench, and we're trying to build a team that's going to win postseason, not just regular season. Now, if you want just regular season, I think it's called the marathon. It's your old school best ball, basically traditional. It's just weeks 1 through 17, best score wins. It's not a tournament. You're not going to take them as much, but you don't have to plan for the postseason. It's a little more straightforward. Old school best ball. So you got that too. A lot of options. All right. So Dark Star in at 12. Very nice. All right. Right here. Wow. Okay. You know what? I don't have a lot of Gibbs. I don't. I'll go Gibbs. I've been taking Neighbors there so much. I'm going to mix it up a little bit. It's not because I'm a slave to the ADP, as you know. Never that. What's up, Justin? Bean, of course. Good evening. Nice. Tony, the champ, is here. All right. Let's do it again. Oh, going to be the 2025 champ, too. That's what we're going for. What's up, Eminem? Now, I do like to mix it up. As you know, I don't want to do the same thing every draft, but we don't want to get too crazy. Just remember, reaching is basically, again, I don't mean reaching like a pick or 2, maybe 3, right? But reaching more than a few picks, reaching a round plus, no matter where you are at, you're basically knocking yourself out of contention. Because remember, we're going not just up against the other 11 teams in this draft right here. You got to think about it. You're going against the field because your goal is not just to win this league. Your goal is to win the whole thing, the tournament. And you've got to be, number one, a little bit different, a little bit unique, but also you've got to have an advantage. And if you're reaching on players, you're not getting an advantage. I know we've talked about this before, but just a reminder, you don't want to scroll. Once you start scrolling down the list of guys that you can't see yet, you're probably going too far. Again, not round 15 and later, fine. But right now, I'm looking at the guys on the list. Could have been fine with Light. Okay, I'm not taking Bauer still. Sorry. I might go double hero anchor RB. I love JT here. I still am going to take JT over Bucky. I don't have that much Bucky, but still, I can't pull the trigger on him. I got some concerns about Rasheed Rice this early, Tyreek Hill this early, T. Higgins this early. That's my concern here. I much prefer the value of the running backs. And of course, we've probably beaten to death the argument about taking a tight end this early. So, okay, I don't think I have any Gibbs JT duos. And so now that I'm gone double RB, obviously this affects my strategy. You better believe I'm going to hammer the wide receiver position at this point on. All right, what's up, Justin? I got a question. Dak, CD, and Pickens being the winning stack. I think I think there could be something to that. Now, Pickens' ADP really didn't take a big turn when he went to Dallas because he was the clear number one receiver in his offense. Now he's clearly the number two, but clearly a much better offense. So he's kind of stayed put. So I don't know that Pickens is a great value per se. And then of course CD, you're only getting him if you have a top 5, 6 pick. So in terms of straight up value, Dak is the only one I feel like is a good value. So I don't know if I feel like that's the winning stack. I think it's a good stack to have. I'm not opposed to it at all. Hold on, let me not miss my pick here. Okay, so oh wow, JSN has dropped a bit. I've been kind of out on JSN, and I'm still out. I'm gonna take Garrett Wilson. No, I'm not out. I didn't like when JSN was going in the early 20s. I didn't even realize now all of a sudden he's in the 30s. I feel like that's changed. I'm gonna have to check the charts here. But I still prefer both Garrett Wilson and Terry McLaurin. So take that for what it's worth. Yeah, that's my only issue with when you're taking both the receivers from that offense as early as you are, because you can't wait past round, 5 at the most to take Pickens. That's the thing. So usually the winning stacks is when you get those values much later. You know what I mean? So I don't know if there's really a different receiver in Dallas I feel is even worth taking. You know what I mean? So yeah, I like it. I like the stack, but I just don't know if it's the winning stack. I'm not going to tell you I think I know what the winning stack is, but once we get later on, I'll tell you some of the players that I feel like are more worthy. I've been taking a lot of Cam Ward, like Calvin Ridley, and then you compare him with like a Chig at tight end. Maybe that's me just being way irrationally high on Cam Ward, right? Being a homer, but so be it. I still think it's ridiculous that Cam Ward is going as late as he is after what Jaden Daniels did last year. I just think it's bizarre that nobody thinks that Cam Ward could have a great rookie season. I mean, I think it's more of the fact that he's on Tennessee, and we know Tennessee was terrible, but that's because they didn't have a quarterback. So, anyways, I'm not going to rail on about that again. Okay, so let me see coming up here. And by the way, Jordan's at the 11. Good to know. So you and Darkstar are against each other. I see some Justin Fields hate. Well, I got Garrett Wilson, so Justin Fields might be in play for me here, but I do feel like his ADP is a little aggressive. I don't like Fields being taken as early and Cam Ward being taken as late. I feel like it should be switched. Anyways. I have a ton of DJ Moore. No way I'm taking DK Metcalf. Maybe a good. I don't have that much Xavier Worthy. I'm only going Worthy here because I do not have that much, and I have a lot of DJ Moore. You do want to differentiate. That is important. Pretty soon I'll start talking about bringbacks. Week 17. That's important too. Oh, nice. Yeah, well, nothing wrong with Derrick Henry. Definitely nothing wrong with Derrick Henry. Okay. Okay, so JJ McCarthy, Bulldog is higher than JJ McCarthy. McCarthy's ADP is starting to get a little out of control. Um, let me see. Let me see here. It is taking a definite up. Oh, yeah. Okay. How is JJ McCarthy going before Justin Herbert, Jordan Love? Okay, Trevor Lawrence, whatever, fine. But man, McCarthy, that's very aggressive on a guy who's never played in the NFL and wasn't the number one overall pick. Yeah, Cam Ward wasn't. Okay, Cam Ward runs. JJ McCarthy doesn't. Cam Ward, number one pick. JJ McCarthy not. Anyways, I'm now at this ADP. I'm out on McCarthy like completely. There's no way I'm taking him before those quarterbacks. It's just I think that's insane. All right, coming back to me. I might take another guy I don't have much of. Travis Hunter Falls. His ADP is finally reasonable. And it looks like I might not get him. No, I didn't get him. All right. Don't need running back. Well, you know what? Practice what you preach. Here we go. Calvin Ridley one more time. Now, this doesn't mean I have to take Cam Ward, but there's a chance. There's a good chance. I mean, look, why can't that be the winning stack here this year? I think it could be. All right, Zach, let's see what you got here. I got Daniels and Mahomes with my first two picks, with Hubbard and Monty, Odunze, Higgins, Devontae Smith. Okay, so we're talking about, I'm assuming, a super flex dynasty. Well, you got great quarterbacks. Hubbard and Monty. I mean, it's solid. It's not outstanding, but it's solid. Odunze, Higgins, Devontae Smith, rookie picks. Okay, so you're late rookie picks. Should I look to trade Mahomes? Well, again, I'm assuming this is super flex. If it's not, and you just need Daniels and Mahomes as your backup quarterback, sure, I'm definitely not opposed to trading him and to get more value. Now, you still want a capable backup quarterback, but you can get good value out of Mahomes, and it's a one QB league. Yeah, I'm not opposed to that. But I need to know that first before I tell you what to do here. So, all right, back to me almost. So I got Gibbs, JT. Doesn't mean I ignore running back. I could take somebody if I like him here. I might. I mean, Olave. I just took him yesterday. Wide receiver 4, fine, but do I want that much Olave? Judy, Debo. I do not love the receivers that are left here, and I think I'll be just as happy with who I might get on the way back. So you know what? I rarely do it. I'm going to third running back. I'm going to go with my boy RJ Harvey. Yeah, I know you guys. Well, actually, you can't see my queue, can you? I just have the board up. All right. So I'm gonna queue. I think I might get one of the receivers I like still on the way back here. But yeah, this is the part of the draft where round 6, round 6, 7, where the running back value is far better than the wide receiver value. Now, given the fact I got Gibbs, JT, and now Harvey, I'm really going to think about going maybe 5 RBs, 6 at the most. But again, you don't pre-plan these things, do you? All right. Eminem saying thought McLaurin would be a second round pick. No, second round is he'll go late second in some drafts, but I think early third, mid third is more reasonable. But you know what? I probably have him ranked higher than some of the guys who are late second round. So should he be a second round pick? Yeah, maybe. But I'm not going to take him in the second round if I know I can get him in the third, if you know what I mean. All right. I'm taking him. I like McLaurin better than Rashee Rice. Put it that way. And Rashee Rice, at least an underdog, is firmly in the second round. He's like 19 overall, something ridiculous. I'd rather wait and get McLaurin. All right. I was hoping Pearsall might fall to me. I do have a lot of Pearsall already. Still good running back values here, man. Swift is nice. Pollard is nice. But I can't just ignore receiver anymore. So I could get Pat Mahomes. No, it's okay. I like Shakir enough. He's fine. I don't know, Mahomes. I mean, I'm thinking Mahomes because again, I hardly have any Mahomes. I have Worthy, maybe a little bit different stack here, but I don't know. Can we get excited about Mahomes anymore? Honestly, do we? Are we excited about having a Chiefs stack? I don't know. Charles Price, yeah. Well, you know what's happened? Ashton Jonte's second round now because Christian McCaffrey isn't. Christian McCaffrey used to go 15, 14, snuck into the end of the first round, and now CMC is like 7, 8 ADP. I think 7 point something. So because of that, he's crept up. So I guess by default, Jonte's crept down. None of these other receivers have really dipped. So you're not always going to see that, but again, I don't see the CMC hype slowing down. So don't be surprised if Jonte is available early second round. Yeah. Okay, Zach, you're saying it's super flex. All right, if it's super flex, no, I'm keeping those two quarterbacks, Mahomes included. He's not old. Maybe he's not putting up his best career numbers these days, but he's still one of the more reliable quarterbacks. You don't want to have to worry about the quarterback position in Superflex. So no, I would hold him. He's got several years left. Oh, and just like that, I'm back on the clock. Wow. Okay, well, here we go. Pat Mahomes is still available. I'm glad I waited. I got him a full 5 picks after ADP. I got a reliable quarterback. I'm stacking him with Worthy. Life is good. Now, with Mahomes being pretty reliable, again, maybe he's not the most exciting play in best ball these days. He'll still have his days. But I feel like I only need one more quarterback, right? I think this is the cutoff. I'm Baker Mayfield, Pat Mahomes. I think that's the cutoff. If you have one of those two guys, you probably don't need a third quarterback, just a decent backup. I'll probably wait a little while. I'm going to target Cam Ward. I'm just going to take Cam Ward. All right, I'm just going to do it, and there's nothing wrong with that. Justin Fields would make sense, but he's going too soon. Don't need the Justin Fields stack. All right, what's up, Jordan? Who'd you like as your flex in full PPR? Ridley, Myers, Godwin. All right, well, look, Myers is always undervalued, but I'm not putting him over those two. It's between Ridley and Godwin. I actually think now I'm putting Ridley just over Godwin. All right, hold on. Let's see. Oh boy, do I go all Chiefs and go Kelsey? No, I'm not doing that. I am not doing that. Ugh. Go Cup. Yeah, I can't bring myself to draft Travis Kelsey. I guess I could have done that. No, I think the warning signs are there, aren't they? Feels like good value, but I don't want to go all in on that. So to answer your question, Ridley, Myers, Godwin, it's close between Godwin and Ridley, but I really feel like with Godwin coming off injury, maybe slow to start, with Ibuka there, more competition. We're not going to see him put up the same numbers as last year, obviously, before he got hurt. I'm going to put Ridley ahead of Godwin. I'm going to Ridley and then Godwin and then Myers. That's what I got. And speaking of coming off injury, Rashid Shaheed, I see him up here. I mean, people are way optimistic, but a guy who, number one, relies on his speed in the deep ball. Number two, has Tyler Shuck at quarterback, and number three now a new offensive coordinator, which I know Kellen Moore being there sounds good, but their offense was actually pretty good with Kubiak last year, and I don't know. Okay, that's aggressive. Pat Bryant at 110. I'm wondering if that hopefully was like an accidental pick. I don't think that's grounds for having this draft canceled, but that's it's interesting. And then there's JJ McCarthy in 111. JJ McCarthy officially, wow, yeah, 12 picks before. People are being aggressive. People are getting their guy in this draft. Go ahead and get your guys. I don't want those guys. You know what? Justin Fields is here, a full 15 picks after ADP, and I already got Garrett Wilson. So I'm going to just go ahead and do what I said I wasn't going to do because I can't ignore the value. It makes sense for my build. There we go. Mahomes and Fields. I guarantee this is the very first out of all the best ball teams I've drafted all this offseason. That is Mahomes Fields. And you know what? I like it. I kind of like it. So my receivers aren't super exciting. I think I need some youth here. So now let's start getting some upside plays, some young receivers. Maybe a little Jack Bash later. Okay. We'll be fine. We will be fine. I actually don't have a tight end yet. Good to know. No tight ends. Tucker Kraft is coming up here. Might take him. Yeah, I will take him. So, as I said, I got 2 QBs. I typically go in the top 100. I'm only going to take 2. And now that I've waited on tight end, I'm going to take 3 tight ends. I know that. And I'm still not decided if I'm going 5 or 6 RBs. It just depends. I kind of like this, though. Yeah. Get your guy. Yeah, so that's exactly what you don't want to do in this draft. The get your guys thing, it doesn't work. Yeah. Get your values is what I do. Justin Field is not my guy, and I took him because of the value. Why the Cooper Cup pick? Great question. I didn't like it, if you could tell by my reaction. So at that stage, again, I already had 3 pretty early, pretty heavy investment at the RB position. I only have 3 RBs, but I got 3 RBs in the first, 6 rounds. And there was no good tight end value there. He was really just the best receiver available in that range. And then if I had waited, I'm looking at guys like, okay, Christian Kirk is fine. Christian Kirk, I don't feel like gives as much upside as Cooper Kupp because of target competition, but yeah, he was the best receiver available basically in that range. And look, I'm not crazy about Kupp, but I do think he's draftable. I have taken him a couple of times. This isn't my first and only. If he stays healthy, he will have some weeks. He'll have some weeks because after JSN, there's really not much else there, right? A lot of young players. So I think Kupp should be a decent value, and he's my wide receiver 5. So I don't love it, but I think he's now. Look, I got him 8 picks after ADP. I'm going for value. All right, Kyle Williams, this guy I had targeted. I had him queued, and I'm getting him. There's my youth. There's my upside. Got Kyle Williams, 10 picks after ADP. See, when everyone's getting their guy early, this leaves great value. So this draft isn't playing out the way that I would want in terms of the players I am actively targeting and like. Honestly, a lot of these guys I don't have on other teams more than once or twice. I mean, I'm taking JT whenever I can, of course. Calvin Ridley, I have a lot of. Garrett Wilson sometimes, but I do not typically take too much Xavier Worthy for where he goes. Cooper Kupp only a couple times. Justin Fields never. I think this might be my first. Pat Mahomes, this might be my second. But you got to take the value when it falls to you. That's how you win these tournaments. And wow, this can't be right. They must have made some updates or something. ADP, even just from yesterday. I feel like we just did one yesterday. I feel like there's some major shifts here. Okay. Well, hold on. See what I'm talking about if this comes to me. There's two players I like here. Well, there's more than two players, but let's see. I don't think any of y'all are right before me, right? You guys are drafting 11, 12. Let's see. Oh, there goes Besh. Okay. Well, maybe I'll still get the receiver I like on the way back, but okay, Jonnu Smith. I'm not I'm not going to make this to a Dolphins rant. Okay, Jonnu Smith had been going inside the top 100, right? Okay, now he's in Pittsburgh. Okay, yes, it's clearly a step down, except that he might actually get more targets now than he would have if he had stayed this year in Miami. Who knows? They're going to use him like as a fullback, right? H back, tight end one, out wide, everything because Arthur Smith is in love with him. Going in, all of a sudden, he's going pick 143. Like, when did that happen? I swear to God, yesterday we just did one of these. I swear his ADP was just outside the top 100. It's like, oh, okay, he's fallen a bit. All of a sudden, he's 140. Like, there's no way. This something has changed here. So, am I taking him at pick 150 overall? You bet, every single time. And he's my number 2 tight end. So, I will hammer that every time. Darren Waller's a different thing. I took my Darren Waller share yesterday. I had fun. That's probably good enough. Yes, thank you, Charlene. That's exactly right. Best, it's all about value. The ADP is a guideline, but again, you have to pay attention to it in these tournaments because you got to remember you're drafting against not just these people in this draft, this league. You're drafting against thousands of people, and the ADP will determine how they pick, where they pick. So you have to pay attention to it here. You don't have to obey it, but you definitely want to take the values when they rhyme. Okay, Kyle Williams. Oh man, don't put that on him. I think they took Kyle Williams so that he wouldn't be the next Jalen Polk because yeah. I mean we'll see. But look, Kyle Williams is my 1, 2, 3, 4 wide receiver 6. So if he busts, he busts. Speaking of busts, I know probably taking a Cowboys running back isn't the best idea, but everyone's all over Jaden Blue. I don't have a lot of confidence in Javonte Williams or Miles Sanders. If he's the most talented back and he winds up getting the majority of the carries or at least having some good weeks, there we go. But Jaden Blue. I also like Jalen Wright, but he just got taken right before me. I still do like Braylon Allen a bit, just because they patched things up with Breece Hall doesn't mean Breece Hall is getting every single carry. It's not going to happen. Here's an easy one. Will AR-15 ever be fantasy viable? I'm pretty sure that if that door hasn't completely closed, it's on its way. It seems like Daniel Jones is unofficially already their starter, and Richardson's been hurt, and now he's already like planning for a second career, right? Did I see that right? Maybe I'm making this up. Maybe it was a joke that he's already starting like his rapper career, like he's swapping with Darren Waller. I don't know. I could be wrong. Okay, I need Cam Moore just staring at me. No, I need either tight end or receiver. I don't really have any Jalen McMillan. Okay. So I get 7 receivers. I only have 4 running backs, but again, this is by design because I have Gibbs and JT, and then RJ Harvey's my RB3. I do want a third tight end. Let's see, Kraft, Jonnu. Sorry, let's get AR's name off of there. Eminem wants to know if Mims will have a bigger role. He should. I mean, he should technically be the wide receiver too. I'm drafting Mims before I'm drafting Pat Bryant, unlike whoever's in this league. But you got to remember what he is. He's mostly a deep threat. He's not going to get a ton of targets. I really think in terms of the Denver offense, he's the number, not including running back targets and whatever. Like in terms of pass catchers, pure pass catchers, he's probably the number 3 target at best because I feel like Ingram is the guy I'm drafting a fair bit. I think he's going to be used heavily. A slightly bigger role. Yes, he'll actually have a role, which is nice because he didn't at all last year until the very end of the season. So at least he has a role. They're also talking about Devon Valet. So Mims is a guy I really feel like in best ball, I will take a lot in the late rounds. And in redraft, I probably won't until like the very ends, maybe. Well, Jordan, you can take Ward because I'm not going to take a third quarterback, I don't think. No hard feeling. Hey, it's all fair in war and in best ball drafts. Okay. Yeah, I should probably take a running back who has at least some upside. So let's go Jarquez Hunter for the Rams. Not that I expect him to win anything, but again, are we expecting any of these guys at running back to do anything? No, you shouldn't. These are pure flyers. If something happens to Kyron, I got my lotto ticket right there. And I'm going to try to not take Kyle Monongai because I have way too much of him. Hmm. Yep, it's slim pickings. But this just kind of reinforces the value of getting your running backs early if you don't want to have to worry about all these dart throws late. So right now I'm at 2.572. I do still only got 2 picks left. Kraft and John, and I definitely need another tight end, especially since they both got the same bye week. Hmm. Mm-mm-mm. Did somebody actually? Yeah. Oh, Mason Taylor already went. It's like I could put him there with Justin Fields, but no, sir. Well, you know what I'm gonna do here then? Oh no. All right, I can't pass. Chig is there. I know. I already have Ridley. It's fine. Chig is just too good of a value. He's my third tight end, and I already know who my running back's gonna be. Yeah, well, you know what, Waller might not be a bad pick. I mean, look, it's funny that he's playing, but it doesn't mean we just outright dismiss him. I mean, he's not that old, and that's exactly what you're saying here. Charlene's pointing out the Frank Smith connection, the OC. This is, I guess, why they went after Waller because he coached him, or he was a coordinator at for the Raiders back when Waller had his best days. And that was a few years ago. I get that, but I think they certainly have to have plans for him because part of the reason that they got him is because they don't have anybody else at tight ends. Now, once they got rid of Jonnu Smith, they're looking around. They're like, what do we do now? Durham Smythe is not going to be the answer because he never has been. So, look, at the very last pick, your third tight ends, there's nothing wrong with taking Waller. Yeah, exactly. These are all dart throws. All of these guys are dart throws. Nothing wrong with it. Don't you let anybody guilt you if you take Darren Waller. But come on, Underdog, can we at least put a team by him? Can we just get some info here? He is officially a Dolphin. I think it's legit now. I think he actually is a Dolphin. Okay. I'm gonna go for I guess one more rookie. I'm not intentionally taking all rookie running backs after my top two. That's just the way it is. You're gonna take a dart throw. I mean, you want a sixth round rookie or do you want Raheem Mostert? Give me the rookie. Okay, I'm gonna take because I don't have any Bengals anyways. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna take unless somebody snatches him right here. And this guy already has 7 running backs. All right, I'm gonna take I think my first. Take Chris's boy, Taj Brooks. Talking about him yesterday. If Chase Brown goes down, maybe Brooks is a league winner. There you go. I already have a lot of Dylan Sampson, and I'm not. I refuse on principle to draft any Chiefs running back. I won't. Rashard Smith, Kareem Hunt, Elijah Mitchell. Yeah, no. Did he get drafted? So who took some? You were right. Troy, whoever that is, Anthony Richardson has a home. It's his third quarterback. You know what? You throw that dart. Though I don't know, he only has 6 receivers, and they're not all that great. So I think he probably. Well, look, is Tutu Atwell gonna really do it for you? Wow, that Damien Wicks didn't even get drafted. Okay, yet Deontay Johnson did. All right, here we go. So looks like this is the last pick. Let me show you now my team. Got this one is over. Okay. Well, there's another BBM. My squad this time it's different. I'll tell you, it's different than what I usually do, and that's on purpose. So down here, bottom right, if you can see, I got my Mahomes and Fields. My only time, I think I might have taken Fields once, like way back in the beginning before his ADP climbed. And I still don't love. I don't love where he's going, but I did get him 15 picks after ADP, and that's really why I took him. I mean, because I had Garrett Wilson too. So, anyways, got my Mahomes Fields. I don't mind it. I like taking 2 QBs in that range, so they are solid. Got weekly upside. I didn't have to invest too heavily. I didn't have to take a third quarterback. So those aren't the 2 I usually get in that range, but I kind of like it. Gibbs, JT are going to carry the way. So I got just a ton of upside. But RJ Harvey, I have high hopes for him. And then Blue, Hunter Brooks. Again, if you're going to go early RB, that's it. You don't need to invest early or frequently in the rest of your running back room. So this isn't my favorite receiver room. That's the only thing. But I got 2 stud running backs. So here we go. Garrett Wilson, I still like. Xavier Worthy. For the spike weeks, Ridley, I'm all over. Shakir's just it's Shakir and Cup. That's in that range, and that's where again the value of running back is so much better than the value of receiver, and that's the only reason I don't like waiting to get my in this case 4th and 5th receiver, sure, but still those guys are going to make your lineups sometimes, not just on bye weeks. And I got Worthy and Ridley both at week 10 bye, so they're going to need to do something. So I don't love that. I don't love Shakir Cup combo, but again, Cup's my 5th receiver. He won't need to do too much on this team. Kyle Williams, despite the poke comparison that you're trying to put on him, I like him. And then McMillan, just whatever. And then Kraft, Jonnu Smith at Conquo. Hey, now at this point, honestly, I'm just going to be in on Jonnu Smith. Pick 147 is his ADP. I got him at 150. That's almost insulting. I mean, it's ridiculous that it's gone that far the other way. But this is exactly what I'm talking about. Things, go back and forth. CMC, when you got him in the 2nd round, it was a steal. And now it's like you have to take him in number 7, number 8 overall. So you always do have to pay attention to the ADP because in the end, for these tournaments, that's what it's about. It's about the value. So I feel like I got a lot of good values. And I did this intentionally, not just targeting my guys, my players, but I looked at the ADP and let's see how it goes. Yeah, all right, good. Thank you, Lee. Appreciate say we'll take. Yeah, I mean, wide receiver 4 and 5, you can't complain there, right? Billy wants to know about Tyreek Hill. I'm not ignoring him, avoiding him. I do have some Hill, but that was more early in the offseason. I was able to get him in round 4. And I did it a couple times, and now it's creeping back up, right? Especially now after the Jonnu trade. It's creeping back up. So now I'm not taking Jonnu in these. I'm sorry. I'm not taking Tyreek Hill in these drafts because of where he's going. But I don't think he's an avoid as long as you keep your realistic expectations, that's what it's all about. All right, Jordan, I don't think you're the one who took Pat Bryant. Whoever took Pat Bryant there must think he's the next Puka. Well, we already told you who's the next Puka. It's Jack Besh. Although apparently everyone thinks it's Deontay Thornton. One more question here. HN or Henry is your RB1. I mean, flip a coin. In fact, we just did a video. Should be out. I feel like we did it last week. The must draft early, first 3 rounds. The guys were drafting over and over again. I took Henry, Chris took HN, and we both agreed that if it were flipped, we would be happy with either one. I have Henry, I think, 1 spot ahead at HN. He might have HN 1 spot ahead. It really is. It's like the same thing. So if I had to pick, I'm going to go Henry. But if you told me, nope, you can't do it, you got to take HN, I'm almost just as happy. So here we go. All right, guys. Well, thanks. Appreciate it. And as I mentioned, and I'll try to mention it again real quick, if you have a chance, go back to your Underdog account, which I know you all have one. Anybody watching this who doesn't, do it. Make an Underdog account. Try it. Drafting for money, but also for fun. And in this case, you can do it for charity for a limited time here. The SFB Satellite, and this will be up for probably at least a couple of weeks because the Scott Fishbowl is now open. Our draft is going on. Follow it on social media. You get a lot of insight from a very unique league. A lot of very smart people drafting their football leagues. And the SFB Satellite is open. So again, it's only a $10 entry, and they are contributing $100,000 to Fantasy Cares. And so I put the link in the comments and also in the description. Check it out if you want to. And all that. I got to get back and check my draft to make sure I'm not on the clock, actually. So appreciate you guys. Check out all the videos. And, of course, turn notifications on so you know when we draft live next, which very likely is going to be tomorrow in less than 24 hours. All right, guys. We'll see you next time.